Good morning. Welcome to another day of Bible prophecy. My name is Prophet C. Brazil. The target point for today's discussion is will be taken from Jeremiah 24 1 10, Revelation 13:11 18, Holy Bible. Excuse me. But before I get started to that point, I want to get other secondary topics I'd like to discuss with you today. As we are nearing the return of Jesus Christ, and I am the messenger of the covenant who live by the Spirit of Moses, who was sent by God to prepare the way for the return of Jesus. However, there's certain dreams and visions that God has given me since my arrival at this point thus far. And as I did in other recordings, I would like to share with you uh, one more, maybe two other vision that God gave me and the year they was given to me, which I kept record of such. Now, before I go to that part, I want to read a passage out of the prophecy of Jeremiah chapter 28. And I'm just read just a small portion of it because it have its significance concerning prophets, since there is false prophets have gone out before old in old years before now, and even as of today, there's other prophets are going out prophesying falsehood. It's prophets of falsehood. Jeremiah 28. Uh, I want to start at verse 5. The prophet Jeremiah said unto the prophet Hannah in the presence of the priests, and in the presence of all the peoples that stood in the house of the Lord. Verse 6. Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen. The Lord do so. The Lord performs thy words, which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Lord's house, and all that is carried away captive from Babylon in this place. This was after uh, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had taken control, had seized Jerusalem and the house and taken the vessels. And as we transcend these into actuality, the vessels becomes the churings of Israel. Not the same vessel was used as a symbol then, but the vessels of God is the dwelling place of the Spirit of the Lord, which is the children of Abraham. These are the vessels today. Now, verse 7 it says, Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thy ear, and in the ears of all the prophets, all the people, excuse me for misquoting that, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesies, both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesies of peace, when the word of the prophets shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord has truly sent him. Understand this. I'm going to read verse 7 back to verse 9 again. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thy ears and in the ears of all the people, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophets which prophesied of peace, When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord has truly sent him. This here was during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar as he besieged the house of God, Judea, because of continuous transgression. I don't have time to get to that part today, but what I did this for, I want to give you another vision and a prophecy that God gave to me. And when these things come to pass, then you know that I am a God-sent man. And the year of 2003, the first month, I was given 4 visions of destruction. This was mine, 2003. I currently had the first vision or dream. Dream I had January 7th as it carried over into the 8th day, 2003, as I was asleep in my bed that night. Concerning this matter, the food chain had been disturbed. The corn was the first fruit to give up its yield out of season. The merchants of the harvest was going about the streets and public places. As I looked on, they sold their goods and bad together by the pound and not by the quantity as bushel as usual because of the small yield. Now, I currently have the second vision or dream. The dream I had January the 9th, 2003. As I had fallen asleep during the day, I saw in this vision or dream as my wife and I had gotten back together. We was at a marketplace nearby where people live and work. There was many losing their jobs. There was this certain female who I didn't know who had gotten her notice of her layoff. Through desperation, she began to act out of control. She began a bold act. She disregarded my wife being present by thinking of herself and her future only. By sensing that I was a man who had a secure mind, she tried to make contact with me by giving to me her phone number before leaving to go live with her relatives. The offering was tempting, and lust came upon me. I did not want to jeopardize our relationship. I fought back the temptation. I avoided taking the phone number. After walking away out of view of this lady unto an open area outside, my wife had walked from out of view while taking care of other matters. As I continued to just walk around in this area, I walked to a nearby field. There I saw large black vultures as big as humans sitting in a circle as they faced the north. They all sat on the lower limb of a giant oak tree, circling this tree as they sat above the earth. As I was considering this strange matter, I looked about the head of all of them. They all had the appearance of humans, of a woman or a male with long black hair which hang shoulder length. As I was considering these strange creatures, which was in the image of the vultures with the head of a human, I began to stare at the top of the tree. There I saw, high above these creatures, one strange creature than they. There sat top center of the same oak tree a giant white dingy pale vulture